During the traditional pre-Super Bowl presidential interview, Donald Trump told Fox's Bret Baier that when it comes to federal government inefficiency,
I ran on this, and the people want me to find it. And I've had a great help with Elon Musk, who's been terrific.
Not everybody is a fan of what Elon's doing with the Department of Government Efficiency. In fact, Arizona's Chris Mays is one of 19 states' attorneys general suing over DOGE's access to government payment info.
Joining us, ABC News political analyst Steve Roberts. Steve, a federal judge granted a motion from those AGs for a temporary restraining order that blocks DOGE from accessing Americans' personal info. But this is not going to slow DOGE down much, is it?
No. It's one of several federal judges that have blocked some of these initiatives. But I've covered politics for over 60 years. I've never seen anything like this. Think about Elon Musk, the world's richest man. He's never been elected to anything. Donald Trump has been elected twice. He's run 3 times. He's had to face the voters. He's been tested and tempered. Not Musk. Musk has never been appointed to a post that requires Senate confirmation, like a cabinet officer or many other posts in the government. So he hasn't been vetted by the Senate. He hasn't had to answer their questions. He hasn't had to win their approval. He owns one of the biggest social media platforms in the world, X. So he can say anything he wants at any time directly to voters. He doesn't have to answer questions from the media. And let's remember also, almost everything that Trump and Musk have been doing have been through executive orders, which means that Congress is totally out of the picture. There's no check and balance. There's no accountability there. Democrats have very few levers of power left in Washington. Well, one of them is the filibuster in the Senate. But they can't use that because there is no legislation. It's all being done by executive order. So when you add this all up, it's a stunning reversal of the basic architecture, the basic assumptions of American democracy, which is that every source of power is checked and balanced by another source of power. And right now, there's not much holding Elon Musk accountable at all.
You know, and it's interesting because I think that a lot of taxpayers right now are looking at some of these large government agencies and saying, yeah, where is all of this money going? But what is the process by which you actually audit these departments and you find out where the money is going and if there is fraud and waste? What have we done before?
Well, the process is part of it. I mean, and that's really a lot of the legal challenges have been to the process and not to the overall goal. But also, look, I think there's no doubt that a whole lot of people in this country are cheering Elon Musk on, as the president just said in that clip you played. Let's remember, Republicans have been running against Washington for generations. Ronald Reagan called Washington the puzzle palace on the Potomac. Republicans have opposed Washington and opposed the federal government and opposed higher taxes and opposed more regulation. There's nothing new about any of this. It's been part of the Republican canon for generations. And let's remember Donald Trump, since the first day he entered public life, has denounced Washington as the deep state, the swamp. People have been told over and over again how evil Washington is. And so, look, there's a lot of support out in the country for what he's doing. But there's 2 things to keep your eye on. One is, right now it all looks like fun and games in Washington. But when those budget cuts start hitting back home, when universities are deprived of research funding, when constituents start losing benefits, then there's a possibility of a kickback. Right now, a lot of voters say, well, I'm not affected by this. It's all the Washington insiders who are suffering. But what happens to Republican members of Congress when their own constituents, when university presidents start marching to Washington and say you're destroying these institutions that are so central to the welfare of your state and your constituents? And the other factor is, look, right now, Republicans in Congress are cheering Musk and Trump on. They love what's going on. He won a big victory. They're stronger. They're more powerful if he's successful. But at some point, do they start saying, wait, we're actually an equal branch of government. You can't just do this on your own. You have to pay attention to us. You have to come to Congress and propose legislation and negotiate, and that's the way the system's supposed to work. So right now, Musk and Trump are clearly riding high, but there's some speed bumps in the future.
All right. That is ABC News political analyst Steve Roberts.
Thanks for watching Arizona's Morning News. Click to watch more from KTAR News and hit the button in the middle to subscribe.